I'm a little bit late to this as people are already reviewing the new CHIGEE AIO-5 that's coming out, which will chime in on that. And I've been getting a lot of emails from CHIGEE on when is my review going to come out with this, as they did send this out for review, just to be clear right there. But as I was even telling them, I was like, I don't want to jump on just a quick review. I want to actually utilize and put this unit to the test, as I've covered many Apple CarPlay devices, from CarPlay to AOT, which I still use CarPlay over on my SCL 500. The CHIGEE was on the SCL 500 at first, then I pulled it over here to the Africa Twin. So I've been using this unit for over 5 months, and I've probably got 5,000 plus miles on it. I did the whole Southeast BDR with this, and that's what I really wanted to test, is the durability and how does it really handle on those long road trips with multiple terrains, dropping the bike and stuff, you know? So to you all and to CHIGEE, I'm sorry that I'm late to this review, but hey, I really put this unit through the test, and hopefully I can let you know my user's experience, not just back of the box specs. Let me first talk about the installation on the CHIGEE AIO-5 here. Number one, it's mounted to this metal bracket down here, which has tons of flexibility. If you want to angle it to the side or put it on your bars and angle it over there, really nice. And the unit itself has shock absorption on it, and again, you can move it if you want. Right now, it's positioned perfectly for me. And talking about positioned perfectly, I used to use like SW Motec tank bags or Hepco and Becker tank bags, so they'd kind of mount up here and be a little bit bigger. So when you'd come into full lock, the CHIGEE would hit into the side of the tank bag. Now I'm using this budget Moscow Moto bag. Go watch the video on this. This is a really cool tank bag for a budget price. Really nice position now, lots of flexibility, and incredibly easy installation. You got your red, your black, and then you're gonna go right into, again, a fuse, say your lights or something like that. And then of course, if you got optional accessories, whether it be the camera and then a GPS, which I have on here, you just route those and place those wherever you want. And as you can see, I do have some of the optional accessories installed, being the CHIGEE remote, which you can answer, hang up calls, and navigate some of the menus. I do have the tire pressure sensor monitor, and as I mentioned, I do have the cameras installed as well. And as you all know, this is a device that mirrors your phone. Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the same that you're all familiar with. Most modern cars, they all pretty much have it in there. And this is wireless. You don't have to plug your phone into it or anything. It just syncs right up to it. And again, it's a mirror of your phone. It's going to show exactly what's on your phone. I use Apple phone, so it's Apple CarPlay is what I'm going to be referencing to here a whole bunch. Whenever I'm doing an actual route, I will use Gaia, and Gaia is absolutely phenomenal. We all know Gaia is a standalone app. It's not something incorporated with CHIGEE here. It's again just mirroring it from your phone. I did find some cool little tricks using Gaia when I was out again doing that Southeast BDR, is if you lose track of yourself, as Gaia will track you even if your cell service is out, it will still track your route. But if you're panning around a little bit too much and you lose track of yourself right there, it'll stop following your arrow, at least as far as on the screen. It'll still show you, but it won't follow on the map. Hopefully that makes sense. But the cool thing you can do is just tab up to routes right on the top left of the screen right there, and then tab back. Don't select a route or anything. Just hit routes and then back, and bam, you're back in business, and it's gonna track you. You can zoom into you if you want, or zoom out to you if you want. And that's one thing you're gonna notice using this. Like me personally, I prefer to be zoomed in quite a bit when I'm on a followed route that's definitely off-road, where you got a lot of turns coming up and such. Now, if I'm on basic road, I'll be zoomed out quite a bit, but again, off-road, I wanna be zoomed in. And that's why you see some people run like a phone and an Apple CarPlay device. So they can have one zoomed out and then one zoomed in. If you're using, like, say, Gaia on one and then Google on the other, it's pretty cool using that way, but then you kind of got screen overload, you know what I mean? I've been getting a lot better at using just my CarPlay device and taking my phone off my bike completely. It's a little bit better. I'm not messing with my phone as much. I kind of set it and forget it and leave it right there. You know, some people will say even this is too much as far as tech or screens on your bike, but again, it makes it so much better as far as seamless integration of your phone onto your bike. And I know a lot of people will ask, like, why do I even use this when the Africa Twin has Apple CarPlay built into it? And I've mentioned, this is my third Africa Twin here. I've mentioned it in multiple videos, like the integration of Apple CarPlay on the Africa Twin, it's good, but oh my gosh, it's a headache to use. It's not like your phone. I own Honda cars, and you take your phone, bam, you set it's wireless, and it just syncs up right when you start the car and you get going. On the Africa Twin, it's got to be synced to your helmet and then synced into the bike and then to a headset. I understand it's their safety stuff and all that, but it's annoying. I know a lot of people have found ways to make a wireless device fit into there. I tried one of them, and again, it was still kind of finicky. I just didn't like it. And plus, I like having my main screen up on my Africa Twin so I can adjust my traction control and ABS and all of my settings in there, and I can kind of see my screen and stuff, especially when I'm off-roading, and then have my CarPlay. It's really nice to have all the information I need right there in my cockpit. And as far as durability across the core unit or any of the accessories, whether it be the camera or the tire pressure sensors, let me tell you what, they are incredibly solid. As I've been through multiple terrains, big rocky sections, I've been through rain, I've been through mud, I've went down on this bike multiple times, sometimes pretty hard, you know what I mean? And every single thing has held up on it. The tire pressure sensor monitors have never fallen off or came unscrewed there. The camera sometimes will get a little loose, and I don't know if I say loose, but they'll kind of adjust down, as you can still adjust them a little bit to kind of get your angle perfectly. So sometimes you have to go up there and maybe just tilt it up a little bit, but I've had to do that maybe twice on this, you know. I will tell you the screen protector did crack on it here. Good thing I had it on there, you know what I mean? But again, we can't knock that. That's just doing what it's supposed to do, you know. The one thing I will say is a stinker is a replacement screen protector on it is $25, which I think is a bit steep for a screen protector for sure. I think that thing should be $5, maybe $10 max. But as far as core durability and again, multiple terrains, multiple crashes, you know, it has held up perfectly. And touching on the accessories that I have here, whether it be the remote, the cameras, the tire pressure, which you can buy this in multiple variations, at just the unit or the unit with cameras, and then the remote, and then the tire pressure sensors separately. What I would say is I love the tire pressure sensors, hands down, totally recommend them. We all know some like BMWs and Triumphs, they have them built into it. The Hondas do not, and that's just a feature I love. So bam, I can see it, and it's pretty accurate. I've tested it up to some regular testers there and then up to this, and it's pretty much spot on the money. Now, as far as the remote, I would say skip the remote in my personal opinion. I mean, it's okay, like bam, you can hit it right there, but you got the headset going and then you got this screen up there. It's almost like, okay, just a press right there. It's not as easy as just going, you know, one press over there. You're still looking down. So I think it's, I don't know, me personally, I don't think it's worth $100. But touching on the cameras, is that worth the upgrade from the core unit to, they call it the Lite, which is kind of weird because that's what comes with the cameras. I really like the cameras. I don't use it for any recording. I think it's 1080p, 30 FPS. That's the IO-6. The new one is 60 FPS. I think these are really just like emergency type of devices. I don't think anyone's going to be using them for content. You know what I mean? They're going to be vibrating on it. There's no way to avoid that whatsoever, but they look perfectly clear. Again, 60 FPS, 1080p. They look great. They really do. What I really like about them is the blind spot monitoring, which you can go into here and you can set it to low, medium, or extreme or high, whatever it is. And on high, it's excessively, it just picks up way too much. So I kind of kept mine on either low or medium right there. And it was super nice. It comes up with a little thing on the screen to let you know where they are, whether behind you, left or right of you. You can also make it beep when that happens, which is incredibly annoying because it'll just beep all the time, especially in town. You come to a light, beep, 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 and it's just, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. So I turned that off and I just have the visual right there, which just, again, it's just a nice piece of mind. I'm not saying I'm looking down at the screen, but you kind of see it in your peripheral right there. And it's a really nice thing to have those notifications. And you have multiple screens within the device as well. You got like a main hub there letting you know, again, your tire pressure and stuff like that. And then you got one with your speed and your revs. But even when you're just cruising, it's usually maybe 1 to 2 miles per hour off right there. But again, everything else is pretty much spot on. The tire pressure and all the GPS and all that, like if you got the compass up and stuff. So again, it's really pretty accurate for something that's a plug and play type of device. And that goes right into using it for navigation. As I've mentioned before, it's gotten me through multiple trips, multiple terrains, long distance, again, off-road, on-road. And that's not really giving credit to the CHIGEE. Like, honestly, that's the Apple phone, right? It's just relaying it back there. But talking about the Apple phone relay into the CHIGEE, I never got delays or hiccups or lags. It never held me up and like, oh shoot, I missed that turn because the CHIGEE's lagging up here. The only reason I missed turns is I was either zoomed too far in or too far out, usually too far out, you know. But as far as relaying it from the iPhone to the CHIGEE, again, for any off-road adventure, it was perfectly fine. And again, it's just so good working so seamlessly for navigation, whatever app I'm using, and then also being able to control my music and then get my phone calls, text messages, that's how I usually communicate when I'm on rides. I talk through my helmet, which again, is synced up to my phone, and I'll talk through there and I'll do voice to text. I don't like doing phone calls because I get distracted. I don't like being on comms because I get distracted in conversation. So again, I just do voice to text talks. It's your phone, and we all know our phones work. So why change it? We're really just mirroring it here. And that's honestly where I think the one con can come into play, or at least the one question I think a lot of people will ask is like, well, why don't I just get a phone mount and place my phone right up here? I already have the phone. I spent a pretty good penny on this. Well, why not just place it up there? And my one reply to that would be, well, like you just mentioned, you spent a pretty penny on this, right? So you don't want to ruin this. We all know about vibration on motorcycles, and it can affect the cameras. Out of my entire time riding, I've only had that happen once on an older iPhone. A lot of the newer phones that got vibration dampeners in them, I mean, they really helped them out. You can get a basic, cheap little phone mount off Amazon that has little rubber mounts on the back, and yeah, they're perfectly fine. You're more than likely to get away with this, and you're not gonna have any issues with your camera. That's no guarantee. I mean, it could happen. If you go down, you could have, again, something happen to your camera. Not saying this is cheap, as the CHIGEE is one of the more expensive ones I tested. CarPlay Ride probably in the cheaper, and in talking about that, like the light over here that comes with the cameras, I believe is right around 500 bucks. You can get it without the cameras and you'll be around, I believe, 300 to 400 bucks. And then again, the accessories are around 100 bucks each, which I say save 100 bucks, skip the remote, but definitely get the tire pressure sensor. And talking about that price point, like it's not a cheap unit. And would I tell you to go buy this over the CarPlay Ride, which you can get for probably around 200 bucks. And honestly, if you're going just core unit, no accessories, I would say go with the CarPlay Ride. It works perfectly fine. It's going to do everything just the same. It's, again, mirroring your phone right there, and that's what it's going to do. Now, as far as accessories, which I have used cameras on my CarPlay Ride and stuff before, the CHIGEE blows it away. With the tire pressure, the cameras and everything, and the integration of it, the CHIGEE does it phenomenal. It really does. It does it better than the CarPlay Ride. The AIO-5 was very close. That was a very good unit, and that's kind of in between the CarPlay Ride and the CHIGEE. But if you want just your phone mirror, I think you can save some money and go with something like a CarPlay Ride for sure.